actually. And we are going to try to get, I don't believe we have. We don't have any in-game audio, unfortunately, because they are sitting at the very end. And there we go. Now we have some in-game sounds, now that we're not going to have players talking over it. But as you can see, we do have Talbadar playing Shadow Priest, choosing to toss his Fear Ward onto... I actually can't see because they have so many buffs right now. I do believe on himself. And, of course, on the top right, we are going to have Seraph playing Hunter, which is going to actually be named Seraph, as you can see. And we have Chris Thorman on Druid, and of course Lord Uckington playing Warlock. Now out of the gate, the thing to note is this isn't going to be too fast of a match for ArenaPwnage. They're going to play very defensively from the start. But let's see what Uck can do as he comes out of the gate, trying to find his first target, which looks like he is going to be targeting Talbadar currently. A very offensive placement on his portal right there, which means he knows that this pillar is going to be the target of choice. Ooh, Big Fear and the Root, which from that Earthbind totem, if you're an Ellie Shaman Deep Elemental, you're going to get that. We have a Cyclone onto Chris right now. Looks like they are going to be going hard onto Seraph, who's going to disengage away to try to get out of range of the enemy casters, and they are going to stack up that Vampiric Touch with a Flame Shock, which means it could be hit for a pretty big burst right here if the Elemental Shaman can get any casts off. So Novos is actually going to be the target of choice for the enemy team. A smart move, actually. And he's going to try to stay behind the pillar to get out of line of sight. Oh, it looks like they might go on Uckington's pet as we see that big Shadow Fury right there, followed by the Howl of Terror. Didn't catch anyone, actually, it doesn't look like. Dizzyet in a Cyclone right now, but not a lot of damage coming out from Novos, but he is Death Coiled. Ooh, bad Death Coil luck right there for Uckington as he gets Death Coiled back out of line of sight. And he's going to get back into Ghost Wolf and get over there. Seraph right now is definitely going to be the target of choice as we see that 5,000 point lava burst right there, which was stopped by Resilience. Talbadar having the aim shot debuff on him, which means this team could swap onto Talbadar if they want. And that's going to be the sign, basically, that they're going to swap. But look, as you see dots basically all around. Uck feared out in the middle of nowhere. This could be some trouble. Choosing to Trinket, knowing that this could be a bad situation anytime that somebody on this team is feared out. But Seraph taking a bunch of damage right now from that Elemental Shaman of Novos. And he's out kind of in the middle of the two pillars. There you go. Now he's going to disengage to try to position himself a lot better. We see a very defensive Cyclone onto Talbadar right there, trying to keep Seraph completely up. And you can see they've already stripped all of his buffs completely, which means it's going to have an easier time of getting rid of those hots, and a three-person Shadow Fury right there, but a double fear onto Seraph and Uckington right there, leaving Chris by himself, and they actually do swap onto him, but he is able to get away and hide behind the pillar. Chris is definitely still going to be the target. They're going to let the dots roll on him, but he is going to hot himself like all good druids should do. Seraph right now was Cycloned. Interesting choice right there. Looks like they were going to try to get on to Uck a bit. Talbadar down to half health right now, and like you said, Dizzyet is never going to run out of mana. He has a minute left on his Innervate, and he's actually been doing a great job of managing his defensive cooldowns because he does have those two healers behind him, or the option of the two healers, rather. Looks like Novos is going to be trying to cast onto Uck's pet, which is Kudon, gets him down to a bad health, and bam, kills him with a Chain Lightning. Chris right now was Cycloned, and he doesn't have any cooldowns used. Everything is reset. Uck right now having to summon his pet instantly right there, and his Death Coil is back up, so if they're going to make a push for a kill right now, they are going to have to get in pretty quickly. Chris using his Innervate already, but as you can see, it may have been dispelled right there. We quite didn't catch it on camera. We see, a big Shadow Fury on 3 as we see the Death Coil onto Novos. Looks like they're going to go hard onto him. They have a Cyclone onto Talbadar, but that leaves Dizzyet open to heal. Silencing shot onto Dizzyet. Novos taking a lot of damage. They are going to defensively heroism right there. Down to half right now. They need a little bit more crowd control onto Dizzyet. There's that scattering shot at half. Still has the hots on him, but he has the aim shot. And we see the Divine Hymn come out of Talbadar right there, but it was stopped. And wow, they stopped that offensive onslaught perfectly right there. And that's the strength of this team, able to have that 3 healers to fall back on, as we saw Talbadar get out of Shadow Form and even help out a little bit. And we see another Shadow Fury right there. They're going to get punished at some point for choosing to stick together so much. We see a Dispersion right there by Talbadar, getting his mana back up to 16,000. Novos, however, at half mana right now, but he just had a Trinket proc right there, which means he's going to be doing a lot more damage into Seraph. It actually didn't do too much damage, not too bad on health right now, but another triple Shadow Fury right there. If he can land a Fear after that, Talbadar taking a lot of damage, down to half, and a Cyclone onto Talbadar, and onto Novos rather, but a not too well-timed crowd control as we saw a silencing shot and a Fear at the same time onto Dizzy. They should have layered those one by one. Seraph is feared away right now into the middle, but that triple Shadow Fury again. There we go, followed by a Howl of Terror, forcing Novos to trinket out of it, knowing that they could be in trouble right there. A Cyclone onto Talbadar. Seraph still is going to be the target of choice of this ArenaPwnage team. That Spell Lock not accomplishing too much, but Novos with that DFO proc right now, it's going to boost his spell damage really, really high pretty soon as he's going to start casting onto Seraph. But again, Uckington showing what a great Warlock he is, stopping that offensive onslaught with that Shadow Fury. All right, now Uckington's going to have another opportunity to burst in 10 seconds with his Death Quill being back up, and it looks like they are going to go on to Uck hard, and they have that Ghetto healing debuff of that Mind Blast proc, which isn't a full one, but again, a triple Shadow Fury yet again. Novos Death Coiled away. Dizzy is, however, in the center, not going to have any problems healing him up. Talbadar Cyclone right there. Novos feared a little bit. They're still going to be dumping a lot of damage. Finally, they get that aim shot back up, but full health with Hots rolling. Not going to be worried too much about it. He's down to 6,000 mana right now, but every time he does Thunderstorm, it is going to give him a little bit of mana. Seraph, they are going to cast right in his face right there as he's going to try to get away as fast as he can. And a silence onto Seraph right there. Interesting choice by Talbadar. Not sure if that was a misclick or what, but Novos is looking to stay behind his pillar with his 3 healers on his team, keeping himself alive. Now, as you can see, Chris, however, is having to innervate right now. He really has to protect this innervate. If he gets this dispelled, this is going to be the end for the team of Uck's HLP. Uck is hexed right there for a second, but able to get out of it. Not too much damage coming out onto Uck as Uck gets those Hots back up. Now look, there we go, the offensive portal as Uck gets over there, and what a great idea to put his portal right there. We have a Spell Lock onto Novos, and a silencing shot onto Dizzy, which means they are going to go hard onto Novos yet again. However, Seraph taking a bunch of damage, but he knows he has to help out and give a lot of damage. What a great disengage right there to keep his target into line of sight, bouncing into the center of the Grand Arena, having a scattering shot onto Talbadar right there. And you really need to crowd control all 3 members of this team to try to score a kill. Seraph looking for his target, which is going to be Novos as Novos comes back up. They're looking to try to kill, as you can see, targeted Tremor Totem just for a second to actually swap his pet, I do believe. Actually, he doesn't have a pet right now because it is dead. He needs to get that back up quickly as it is going to help out. Of course, he is playing Marks, as you can see the silencing shot right there. But, I mean, Chris down to about half mana with still a minute, or under half mana, down to 6,000, down to 5,000 mana, with a minute on his innervate right here. So this could be some problems for the team of Uck's HLP. Wow, now Seraph using his disengage right there, kind of preemptively, knowing that he does have that Flame Shock debuff on him, which means a crit Lava Burst could be coming any second, but he doesn't have his pet back up quite yet. It is going to take him a while to get a resummon a pet. Not sure if he's going to be able to spare the time currently, but we do know that. Ooh, hey, here we go. Now there's a Psychic Core. This is how they try to line up the burst. He gets stunned, but choosing to trinket it to get out of it, knowing that that's what this team does. Novos down to 18,000 hit points, but gets behind the pillar, and I bet we're going to see a Shadow Fury on all 3 in 2 seconds. Nope. Uck choosing to just crowd control a little bit with single target fears, and there we go, a double Shadow Fury right there, but blown away by that Thunderstorm back into the starting area. Silencing shot onto Dizzy with a Cyclone onto Talbadar, but he's able to get a ton of heals. However, Seraph finds his target and drops Novos. Wow, that was an exciting match. I mean, normally these long, drawn-out Wizard Cleaves sometimes not too exciting, but I like to see that. There were constant target switches. They were identifying the targets they need to go on. But it looks like, actually, Chris not having much mana. 30 seconds on his innervate. He has to play carefully right here. You never know what's going to happen. Talbadar getting his mana back might be able to provide a little offensive damage. Of course, Chris, there we go. The problem in 2v3 is you can never keep track of one target, or never keep track of all 3 targets, as Chris sits down knowing he really has to seal the deal on this round, drinking back up to 6,000 mana with 6 seconds left on his innervate. There's not going to be any way that I see of Uck's HLP losing this, but you never know. It is World of Warcraft. Stranger things have happened. Talbadar getting over to the pillar to try to find his target, which is going to be Seraph. So I said, like I said, they do have 3 healers. We did see Talbadar go in and out of Shadow Form a few times using his Divine Hymn. He's going to try to get a crit on this Mind Blast right here. Going to Fade, which is going to actually remove him from most movement impairing effects. That's one of the bonuses that Fade gets if you are a Shadow Priest. Now Talbadar taking a bunch of damage, but Dizzyit, like he said, is never going to run out of mana. He has his Innervate up, but the thing to note, his Swift Mend is down for another 5 seconds, and his Nature Swiftness is down for a minute. Also, he does not have a Trinket, so he is going to rely on Dispels from his Priest to get him out of crowd control. Talbadar actually taking the Innervate, it looks like, but down to half right now. Dizzyit, identifying that he's not going to have a problem with mana, and but he does take a lot of damage from the entire team of Ux HLP.
Now, is that the reason, well, what is the reason why they weren't able to keep Novos up?